Hey, how is it going out there, reading and writing community? So, I'm just here to kind of address questions and stuff. This is something I actually wanted to try um, for this channel. I was trying not to do um, questions because, I wasn't trying to do what everyone else is doing, I guess, on their channels. I was trying to do something a little different. Um, because you have everybody who's doing um, their they do their top list. They do you know and I leave the top tens to the people who do stuff like that. I mean, I know pretty much about a pretty decent amount of writing. I've been writing since I was you know 10 years old. um, and I started taking it seriously like in my late 20s. So this is just this is something I love doing. I could probably make a 50 hour to 100 hour, maybe thousands of hour video on my writing, why I love it so much, why I love to read, things of that nature. And also like to tell you too, um, if you are new here, please hit the like, subscribe, and you can comment, and it's definitely free. It helps out the channel a lot. So let's go ahead and get to what I want to talk about. I am the guy behind the question of the days. I've been at social media for a while now. A lot of trial and error with social media. This is a whole different beast. So I'm a millennial, and this technology is new to me. So it's something to where like I said, there's a lot of trial and error, but I kind of figured out how to use Twitter, how to use Facebook. I just could never get YouTube down. I've always I pretty much gave up on it. I've gave up, came back to it, gave up, came back to it, gave up, and came back to it. So now I'm back again for like the umpteenth time. And what I want to do with this segment here, what I pretty much want to do is kind of address the questions of the day that I put. So these will be like separate videos. You'll I figure this is a way to get more of my opinion on the question I ask and kind of address you know uh, those questions. So let's kind of dig. This is one in particular I wanted to I wanted to get to. Um, it's the one I asked. What book would you not recommend? And in parentheses, I put "Kill It with Fire." Um, I, so I know there's a lot of there's a lot of people on here. Um, I didn't mean it to be. I had no malicious intent behind the question. Um, Pretty much I asked it. Uh, it just kind of popped up. I was like, you know what? So what books do you just not recommend at all? And I'm just asking pretty much for your opinion. That's all. Nothing. I'm not trying to shoot down other writers. That's not what I do here. Um, I want to uplift different writers and stuff like that, and readers, things of that nature. Like I said, I'm a fellow writer myself, so I've got negative opinions from my work. So I mean, it doesn't. It's gotten to a point to where it doesn't bother me. I'm just used to it at this point. Um, my new novel, actually, that I'm putting out, I posted sample chapters, and there's people I got different opinions from that. There's people who said I'm beautifully, my writing is beautifully written, or the segments are beautifully written. I think I had another guy say I'm really descriptive, and I make things really visual and vivid. And then there's people who say, my writing needs some work. So I didn't do it for malicious intent. If that's how you took it, and I really do apologize. I didn't mean to offend any writers or anything like that. It was just a question for the sake of discussion. That's what a lot of these questions usually are. It's just questions for the sake of discussion, and and I definitely don't want you to kill it with fire. Please don't do that. We don't need a Fahrenheit 451. Don't don't kill it with fire. We need more books, and I honestly think we need more books in this day and age than anything. So definitely don't kill it with fire. So, but this was so I mean, and I kind of want to discuss this more, this question more, because we have everyone has varying opinions on certain books. I've read books I didn't like, professionally written books I didn't like. I didn't like Middlemarch. Was it that one of the Bronte sisters that wrote Middlemarch? Correct me if I'm wrong on that. I think it was one of the Bronte sisters that wrote that. Um, and I read. We had to read Middlemarch for college at Ohio State. Um, I was in a lot of literature classes, and that was one of the books that we were assigned to read was Middlemarch. Um, Book size doesn't bother me so much. I've read giant books before; it's not a problem. But it's just the fact that um, the I just didn't really care for the structure of Middlemarch. I thought it was way too many characters to follow. Um, and I'm not gonna lie, it got to the point to where I didn't even want to read it anymore. But then I've ran into people online too who said it was one of the best books ever written and one of the most beautifully written books. So I wouldn't know. Like I can only go by what I read, and it was such a polarizing book to me that I had to stop reading it. I couldn't get through. I barely made it through the first chapter, but because already in the first chapter there was like a million people to follow, and I'm like, this is too many characters to keep up with. I'm a simple man. Give me a few characters, I'm good to follow. I don't want to follow like 50 characters in the first chapter, and that's what it felt like with this book. It was just way too many people to follow. Um, so, and it just got way too confusing. But the so the thing I don't tolerate is when you have your pretentious readers that because there was a pretentious reader. I actually went to Goodreads to just check out what other people's opinions were of the book. Um, I think it was me and a couple people who said the same thing. We just said we didn't like it, and there was this girl on there. She gives it 5 stars, and she goes, "Oh, well, you wouldn't know good reading," and basically, basically shunning us because we didn't like the book. And I'm just like, well, you can't just sit up there and make fun of people because they didn't like a book that you thought was really good. If you thought it was one of the best written books ever, then that's you. That's really good. I'm glad you really enjoyed it. But just because we didn't enjoy it, that doesn't ruin your enjoyment. Like there's people who like 50 Shades of Grey. We know how a lot of people feel about that book, but if you found something in 50 Shades of Grey that you liked, I mean, what can we say? You know, and the author, she's really successful. I'm really proud of. I'm really glad for her. She sold what, like 70 million copies. So I I think I try to be more supportive of writers. And again, I just don't like the pretentious reader type. I think I had to. Speaking of which, I think I was on a YouTube channel, and there was a guy on there. He said he pretty much said like Harry Potter readers are fucking idiots. If you liked Harry Potter, like he flat out said, you guys are fucking idiots if you like Harry Potter. And wow, I felt a little offended because I'm like, well, I mean, I read uh, it kept me reading. I read the first four books. I didn't really keep up with it after a while. I didn't read the last three, but I'm like, wow, I read the first four books. I thought they were well written. They had to be doing something right if I was reading that much. They had to be doing something right if I stayed in for four books and wanted to read the fifth one. I just couldn't. I just didn't have access to the fifth one at the time. But so I just that's the only thing I don't condone, is that. So yeah, I just don't. Again, I don't. I, I never post any of these questions, like I said, to be malicious or nothing like that. The questions are purely to just get your opinion. That's all I really care for is your opinion. Um, so that's pretty much the discussion with that one. So there you go, and you got the book that I wouldn't recommend too. So there you go. And again, you may think Middlemarch uh, is the best thing since the Holy Grail. That's great. I think that's amazing. Um, but opinions, are opinions at the end of the day. So that's my discussion for this video. Again, like, comment, subscribe if you like this content. And I will definitely be dropping more videos for you guys. I'll be dropping them every week. Um, I do live discussions on my Facebook page every Friday. I did 12:30, but I woke up dead tired today at 12:15 because I work all night. So I have a 9 to 5 other than this. So I'm gonna try to. So I'm thinking to up the going live time to probably like 2 or 2:30. Probably a couple hours. Yeah, we'll go with 2:30 because at 2:30 I should have my coffee ready and then I should be well rested. I was scrambling to get everything together for you guys, um, and I was tired. I was dragging. So, well, like I said, we'll try for a later time. We'll go for 2:30 every Friday, Eastern Daylight Time, I believe. I'm in Ohio, so wherever your time zone is, just equate it to Ohio and go from there. So um, again, appreciate it. Again, like, comment, subscribe, and peace. I'll see you on the next video.